guys, and welcome everybody to the stream. We have a series today being played between two teams here in Group C, T1 Tempest and Instinctck. And they didn't write on their their team names, so I don't know who's who. That's funny. Okay, so Instinct is red and Tempest is blue. Um, that's funny. Let me just make this post real quick, and we can get all nice and focused up here. All right. Hopefully these guys and girls get ready here. Yeah, looks like we are starting. So I hope everybody's New Year's as well as Christmas was great. I know mine was pretty relaxing. We have Orange band and a Senna band to start the band phases out here. Yeah, I think the Orange band is a smart band. Anybody who's been playing the champion recently has just looked cracked. So let's get that champion out of here. Certainly including Instinctck's top laner Arctic. Man's a menace. Fiddlesticks ban, interesting to me. Somebody must be a Fiddlesticks player on the blue side. We don't really see the champion come out very often, so intrigued me a bit. And then of course a Nocturne ban. Yeah, I think T1 Tempest with a good ban here. Three bans, solid. Three very good picks. Oriana hasn't been winning as much, but she's always really strong in competitive play. They're going to lead off with a first pick Sejuani here on blue side. Not a bad first B1, but seeing that Victor is up and I was about to say Skarner, kind of surprising we don't go with that. Instinctck is going to follow that up though with the Skarner as the counter and the Ashe as the R2, it appears. So I personally think, Sejuani is good, leaving Skarner up, because I don't think Sedge is bad in the Skarner. I just think Skarner is busted right now. That's the problem. So we'll see how it plays out. Of course, when it comes to the jungle matchup, they're both CC tanks, but one has a little more versatility. The other thing is, you're picking Sedge here first, so I'm really hoping we're getting at least one or two melees on the side of T1 Tempest here, based on their draft. Yeah, so we're going to get an MF pick here. I've been seeing MF recently in like some solo queue games. I really feel like the champion's actually still pretty strong. She hasn't had like a crazy high presence. I mean, she's been picked a couple times, if I recall correctly, in the league. But I think she's pretty good. And then I like that pick right there, Braum. It's really, really solid. Really good protection. Can tank the Ashe arrows here for the Misfortune. So I like it a lot. But you're setting up the Skarner to also have a field day already. Like I said, you do want to have the melees, but with the Sedge. But at the same point, Skarner is happy to see that, right? The Melial pick here, man, it's making Instinct's comp look really scary here now. Milio obviously can negate the Braum passive stun or the Sejuani alt. Huge. So really good pickup there on the side of Instinctck. Meanwhile, we're seeing similar, or continuous bans here that we're used to seeing, an Aurora and a Mbessa. I'm still surprised teams are banning Mbessa. I don't feel like the champ's as strong as it's perceived. I don't think it's like the worst champ. I just think you can let it through. I think there's good things, especially in the case that you can just pick Renekton and try to bait the Mbessa out. If you're that goofy to pick Mbessa into Renekton, you're trolling, right? But yeah, so we're gonna see a R4 leadoff ban here. Looks like we're going to go Azir if that goes through. Very solid champion. It's gonna work really well here with the Emilio as well as the Skarner. Some nice interactions with both those champions. Increases his range. You can actually wall someone off, and his Skarner's using his E. He can actually E into the wall, the Azir wall. So it's pretty strong. Little combo. No, this is gonna be really funny. What I'm about to say, and it would. Okay, they're just gonna go Diana. I was gonna say, maybe like a Zed here. Like, I know it's not a commonly picked champion, but something that I think really Azir struggles with, especially as the lane phase, gets past the first couple minutes, is something like the Zed. It's an assassin pick. We all know the famous Febvin solo killing faker, I would assume. And that was Zed versus Azir, so. But he goes with the Diana instead. I think Diana's not bad into it, but it's not as safe, I think. I feel like Zed's got a safer lane phase once he hits level 3. Diana can go in and beat your ass, right? But I think it's I don't know. I don't feel like it matters that much. Meanwhile, though, the Poppy is going to be picked up here, so I wonder if that's a Skarner top or a Poppy top. Because honestly, either of them can go either spots, but overall, Poppy into Jax Diana, Sejuani just sounds horrible for the engage of T1 Tempest. But they quadrupled down on the synergies there with both Braum and Sejuani here, so we got 4 melee champions in total in the game. So Sejuani should have no problem proccing her passive. Problem is that gonna matter?
Come on. What's the
Alright,
worst
so we're
that
gonna
could
see here where
happen?
this Poppy's gonna go. So it is top, okay. Makes sense. It's really good into Jax. I remember T1 Tempest also saying they made some changes. Trying to remember where everybody was. But yeah, so I think Lionel is out for basically the rest of the split. He was their original top laner. Hexify had subbed for them, and it looks like Hexify is moving mid. Esco coming from the bot lane to go top. He was running support. Walbao still in the jungle. And
I'd rather be
I
home.
think Aqua will probably be the new support, it looks like. Yeah, so Roll's going to stay at 80 carry. So, just a couple small little changes here.
The Medadas do not forgive.
So this is a different team. This is a different T1 Tempest than we've seen. So we really don't know what to think of it, right? I mean, this team is a whole different beast.
Why not? My scissors don't bite.
So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, I think Instinctck, to my knowledge, has all their members. So, and we know what Instinct is capable of. So if there's anybody in the chat right now, do we have any opinions on these two comps? What team we are favoring, blue side or red side? Well, I guess we're a bit of a quiet chat today then, huh guys? Not feeling the vibe of getting on and typing on our keyboards. I'm just memeing you guys. It's okay if you don't want to type. I just get lonely when I do cast by myself, so I just hope there's somebody here to say hello. You're fine in this shit. You always comment, my friend. You're always here, taking care of the boys. We appreciate you. How was your Hearthstone game? Did you win? We see the pings out here. Misfortune has cleansed.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Seeing T1 Tempest stacking. I don't feel like they were ever going to invade on the side of Instinctck. I don't think they have a great level 1 here. But it does appear no team is going to get knowledge of jungle start. But we are seeing a ping from the Skarner here. So, will they walk in time? Let's see. Skarner moving over, so he's going to get vision. Yeah, so late invade. Really, really smart here from Instinctck. And, so knowledge has been secured. That sucks, man. I don't work this week. It's been nice so far. I got a massage at the start of a vacation, and I got really bad sciatica problems, so that helped a lot. I've been feeling good this week. It's been a good week. Yeah, I see Poppy kind of going off and advantaging the trades early. Like I said, it's Poppy favored, especially early on in the Jax. If he can weather the storm a bit, he can eventually start to beat her, but if she gets in a bit of a lead, it becomes very difficult for him to play the game. I'm kind of curious if he. Okay, he did take jump. I was gonna say, I wonder if he would ever take jump here. Just goes W early. I'm in retail, so I don't get many vacations either, man. Or I guess you could say food service. I deliver chips, so kind of the same thing. So there's a lot of trading back early on between all these lanes. Arctic still has a bit of an advantage as far as the HP top side. And it looks like Jax is just going to take a reset. Probably a smart one. Skarner could easily be in the wings. He might be aware of that. So I think it's a good reset timer. Hexify and Good Boy kind of trading back pretty evenly. But the problem is here, there's not a lot of mana on this Azir. But neither is there on this Diana. And Hexify, feeling kind of scared, decides to flash away. Oh, they see the Sejuani here. Oh, the pings come down. So Azir's going to be safe there in the mid lane. Oh, and here comes a Skarner for a gank. Evo's going to come and have a nice E here. Arctic's going to E him back as well. Now Esco's going to hop out, so Esco should be alright. And mind you, Jax did not burn TP, but they're going to position for a dive, and I'm not sure there's much that Esco can do. He has no E. He's being pushed off the wave completely here. Force them to reset. So he's going to miss a lot of EXP and CS off a really nice gank here out of Evo. Okay, they're turning on a Don here. He's going to speed himself up. Rule and Aqua are doing pretty good here in this bot lane. I really didn't expect there to be much of anything that could be done on the side of Instinct's bot lane, but they're really kind of pushing them out here a bit. Here comes the Skarner ganking, and we know Hexify does not have his flash. Good Boy does, but Good Boy's got to be careful. That's a first blood going over for Hexify. Meanwhile, there's some fighting here in the bot lane. And Hexify is able to get out. Evo, like, literally pushed Diana right into his carry, and a bit of a mistake. Zero holding the flash a little too long. And even though Esco did miss some farms, some SPs, not as far behind as it could be. He's only down about 6 CS. Could be a lot worse. But he's losing heavily on these trades, and you see how the XP advantage is really affecting this a bit. Poppy can almost kill him here. Azir is also walking up. And you see the pings come down, so they're really trying to make this Jack's life a living hell. A lot of pressure here in the top lane so far. Interesting decision. Wildbow's going to start with Drake. Q's going to miss, but they have autos onto Don. Able to get 2 flashes. But the HP advantage to Instinct looks like they should net them a Drake here. So, Aqua's sticking around. Maybe they want to try to shove this wave and try to contest this Drake. Let's see how they handle it here. No, it looks like it was just a shove and ensure that the bot lane is safe. I like the call. I like the choice here. Make sure your bot lane can't get ganked after the Skarner finishes off the Drake here. So Hestech Drake going over to Instinctck. Pretty strong Drake early. A little extra damage boost there. So. Abel is hitting his level 6 first before Wow Bao here, so let's see if either jungler is able to utilize their level 6. Looks like they're going to try to make a play top side. Hexify's going in, and here's the synergy I was talking about with that wall. Hexify's going to drop the, I think it's called, what's it called? I actually got to know. Moonfall. I was going to call it Lunar Moonfall. Yeah, it drops the Moonfall, but it's just not enough. And unfortunately now, with that play, they're going to be able to turn onto the Grubs. Oh my goodness. Arctic is under the turret now. Just kind of taking care of this Jax. Oh. The ulti comes down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane, but I think that's going to be a nice positive. Meanwhile, Sedge does not get the kill on the Skarner. Skarner is forced to flash away, but able to contest these Grubs now. And pick up some Grubs for himself, which is pretty big. So 2 Grubs going over to T1 Tempest, while 1 goes in Instinctck. Still better than what it could have been. See Abel kind of moving up to the top side here. Let's see if they're able to get a nice gank off onto this Jax. He does have his flash back up. And there's the full commit. Does Esco have his E? He does. Does get the double stun off and is able to flash away to safety. Meanwhile, a nice Emperor's Divided and Hexify here gets him pretty low. But Good Boy should be pretty safe here just to continue to farm after that play, and Diana is forced to reset. Another solo kill under the tower here by Arctic onto Esco. Arctic's been having himself one heck of a season here, and he's continuing to bully another top laner. And here's an engage from Wow Bao, but Abel is in the area. He does not. He does have Impale, so they're going to be able to Impale this Sejuani. Sejuani should fall as 4 members of Instinct here was there to take care of that boar. Oh, Aqua and Roll have to be very careful here. This is a bit of a bait. They should have knowledge and information. Oh, there's a nice knockback. They're going to push the Braum in, but Braum is pretty tanky. Oh, Avo wants to repeat gank, or what's he thinking? We do have Drake coming up at 45 seconds. It's going to be an Ocean Drake here. And once again, Hexify just getting outplayed by Good Boy. Forced to flash away. Meanwhile, topside, Arctic is just putting the work on Esco. Flashing away, Buckler! Oh my goodness, is that Lorlo in the top lane or what? No, I actually was talking about what I thought would have been great here, CLT. I kind of mentioned Zed. Zed is pretty good to Azir, something that is not really picked in the meta often, but I think in a situation like this, I do think it wouldn't have been a bad pick here. Just forced to go AP topside. But they opted in for the Diana mid. And so far, with the exception of a nice little 1v2 kill earlier with where the Skarner more outplayed than anything. He outplayed his own laner. It's been pretty much the Azir show since then. Good Boy's been able to do whatever he wants pretty safely. Yeah, no, Arctic's been popping off this game already, man. I mean, Poppy is a really good champion into Jax. So, it's already a hard situation for the Jax here. Now Instinctck is going to go ahead and take themselves a Drake here, and that's going to be Drake number 2. A lot of, I think, what blue side wants to do as Hexify is dashing in. Nice ulti to cancel. Even a beautiful Impale is going to pull him back. Hexify should have nowhere to go, and that's going to be a kill picked up for the Skarner. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like blue side at this point, they're really going to be banking on a bit of a wombo combo with Diana plus MF here. On top of a Sejuani ult. But your wombo combo can't play the game if you're down extensive amounts of gold, and they're already looking at a 3k deficit. During all this, Sejuani was able to pick up one more grub. Should note that. So it's 3-1 in grubs. And look at that farm difference in the top lane. We're talking, what's that? It's about almost 50 CS. It's pretty big there. And this Jax just had a hard time playing the game. So Wildbow's going to try to set up for a lane gank, but Instinctck look like they're sniffing it out and they're going to reset. Meanwhile, bit of a mid-fight. Hexify, anytime he tries to go in, he just gets shot back by the wall, so. Let's see if we see a bait. Oh, nice flash away from Don Don. Now they're going to turn on to Aqua. Double suppression by Avo here. It's massive, but into a nice bullet time just to try to zone them off. Should be okay. Everyone's ults are down. They're going to continue this chase. Forcing a flash away here from the Sejuani. A bit of a back and forth, but just a really nice Impale here. Oh no, and Arctic just back to his shenanigans here in the top lane. And I mean, Esco, you have to leave the turret. I mean, that should be a top turret going down, and it will be. First turret of the game going over to Instinctck, opening up this lead now to 4.2k. Actually, no, I'm sorry, another turret fell mid, so we're up to 5. Boys, we do not talk business in the chat, alright? Oh, and look at Hexify. Just going to go in. I'm sorry, not Hexify. Good Boy's just going to go in on Hexify. I said it the wrong way. But yeah, Good Boy just knocks with Dan. And Dan just decides, I'm going to take the turret gold. Good boy. Just smacking away at these turrets down here. Able to pick him up. Still up another turret in the game for himself. So he's just continuing to get bigger and bigger. And now he's going to TP out. Oh, a nice ulti from Wabao. Almost as if he knew. That's kind of crazy. This should be a shutdown going over to this MF, and it will be. So very nice for Rule. Here's the Ash Arrow on the Hexify here. Wow, this is a dive here in the mid lane. Eclipse is dropping everything. Finally going down. What is Melio? Why was Ash allowed to do that for so long? Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, a Rift Herald was taken there by Avo, but my goodness, a pretty fair champion. Melio is, but he does have his ulti here now, so let's see what this looks like. They see Arctic here trying to kind of find a little flank, but no flank will be had. So we're going to start with Drake here, and it looks like T1 Tempest is going to move topside. Very interesting here. I mean, they are behind in goal, but giving this soul point is massive, and they're going to look to dive here. This might be a dive angle onto Arctic, but he's playing it pretty well, man. He used the W. Ulti is amazing just to keep them stalled out. Wabao can only tank for so long. Here comes the Emperor's Divide. It's actually going to whiff, but Hexify will eventually die. And now Esco's all by himself against a very fed Azir, and Eclipse has arrived too. Aqua's trying to get out with a very nice Ash Arrow. Counter there, and Arctic has arrived, and finally Jax is going to fall. They've got the slows down, and Drake was picked up there by the Skarner. What a crazy play. They did end up picking up the turret in the top lane, but I mean, honestly, at what cost? A beautiful E here by Rule. He's going to be able to get the cleanse out. Drop a nice little bullet time to zone him out. Beautiful R coming out of this Sejuani, but I don't think it's going to matter. Now they're just going to turn the fight. And Arctic's diving. That's a shutdown. Going over to Eclipse. And look at Arctic. He's just a menace. He is just a man on a mission. And we didn't even see what happened mid lane here, but the turret was broken here by Shelly. This is going to be a 20-minute inhibitor if they decide to take it down. They will finish it off. How are they going to use the Herald here? Yeah, they end up not using it. I'm surprised that they try to just set it top here. Meanwhile, there's an engage here by Hexify. They're trying to do whatever they can. Nice impale onto the Braum to displace him from the team, and that'll be a kill for Avo. Let's see if they continue to push. They kill turrets extremely fast with this Azir. Oh, and a nice Azir wall, but it's not going to matter because Emilio gets picked up. Trying to punish them for staying a little long. But here comes down the Azir turret now. Wabao, you got to be careful. You're getting chunked. You're going to take it down so low. Can they finish? Wabao will be able to walk out, but it's going to seize. Now they can turn and just take this turret and possibly the top inhibitor as well. And with Baron on the map, you've got to assume that this game is on its way to a very quick and swift end here out of Instinctck. Listen, I'm gonna say something about this situation about Arctic. I think he's having, to me, if I were to look at a very objective play, like he's having an MVP type split in the top lane, man. This guy has been absolutely going off in almost every series I've seen of him play. So I've been very impressed with his gameplay. You know, our first two MVPs went over an 80 carry and a mid laner. More historically, your carries, right? But maybe start showing some love to a top or jungle, because there's been some really great top jungle support play throughout the split, and I think either one of those could end up being your MVP of the split here. And I think Arctic is on my list for sure. So Baron will go down here at 22.5 minutes. And now let's see what they do with this Baron if they push the issue. Try to end this game. And we are looking at, my goodness, a 12k gold lead here at 22 minutes, 23 minutes. So now you see them stacking up. They're trying to find the pick. They're hoping somebody just base checks this bush. You know, you're hoping it's the Ashe. You're hoping it's the Azir. Maybe even the Milio. Let's see what transpires here. Ashe did not send out the E. They're going to full force onto Eclipse. Eclipse will immediately fall. What do they have else besides that? Because Azir is here and he can carry these fights just as hard. Wowbound's trying to run away. They're trying to cut it out for the Sejuani, but they're just dying. The team just kind of gave up. Instead of maybe turning and fighting, they just let their Braum be the sacrifice. And I'm really confused by that decision. You had a 4v4, call over your Jax and just take a fight. Got TP. You full send it, I think, but instead they get the pick and then they just immediately all sprint out. Even with Azir being pretty far away from getting into the fight initially. Oh, and a flash of pale here. You can't cleanse that, sir. And you're just going to be taken down by the Azir, who's got himself a double kill. The Sejuani has returned to try to join the show, but I don't think Sej can do anything. Esco is coming over to try to help defend. Meanwhile, Ashe is coming down the mid lane. What can the side of C1 Tempest do? And I don't think they can do anything. Arctic is just absolutely massive right now on this Poppy. Esco flashing in, trying to make a hero play, but this Jax is not very tanky. Emperor's Device going to come out, hit multiple members, and immediately T1 Tempest is just going to fall. There was never a chance, never a doubt in their mind. They knew this game was over from the minute they stepped on the rift. Well played here by Instinctck. Yeah, no, the Diana, I think it has an angle, but I kind of brought up other ideas. I think would have worked a lot better. Was definitely the Zed for me. I think you could also run something like Artillery Mage into the Azir, kind of poke him out, right? Because he's only got so much range there. But Milio kind of solves that problem a bit. But overall, it was pretty difficult, I think, for the Diana just to play the game. So let me, no, hold on. I'm looking for, here we go. Alright, in the meantime, I'm just going to hover on this one and let you guys dissect what you guys would do different. I'm going to grab water. Alright. Okay, we don't have the draft link ready, so we're good. Okay. We might have a minute to figure it out. Let me take a quick second. I want to talk about something real quick. We got a moment where we're waiting. Um, on the draft to start. Listen, if you're one of these teams that's struggling a bit and split has not gone your way, I just want to say don't give up. I mean, I looked and broke down before even week 4 started, and every single team, all 18 teams, still had a chance to make playoffs. So, don't give up. The other thing is, it's we're all here to have fun, right? So, some part of the fun is you could be taking the fun away from other people too by not showing up. So, it's just something that was really something I wanted to bring up. If you need help in setting up games, we're always here for that. Assisting you guys, making things work, finding subs, whatever you guys need, we will help you. Figure that out. Sometimes we understand nothing can like fix the problem, and you just have to forfeit. It does happen, but it seems the biggest thing is you get to a spot you're not doing well. Your team's just really not. Maybe didn't even have a chance. You just kind of throw it out the window. But it's about integrity, respect of your opponent's time, and everybody that signed up and wanted to compete. So let's show up. Let's give our best effort. Win or lose, who cares? It doesn't mean anything at this point, right? So it's just something I wanted to point out, and try to be as encouraging as possible to all these teams out here. I don't want you to just sell it because you think it's over with, So hats off to any team that's still showing up even when it doesn't matter for them. Honestly, I think that's the most important thing. And but yeah, everybody still had a chance coming into this week. All right, well, we're getting back into bands here. Instinct's going to go with the Braun band. I think that's a good take from how the game kind of went. I think Braun was pretty impactful, keeping people alive and playing safe. So it's a good band there. I think I'd like to see Team One Tempest come out with a band, like maybe a Skarner band would be great. You're on red side here, so please don't let them have Skarner again, especially since you didn't pick it. B1, you have to ban it here. I feel like teams that let the Skarner through, you have an answer normally, right? And that's fine if you have a legit answer, you win the game, fine. But it's such a strong champion right now. You cannot ignore this pick. So I really hope that they opt in for a ban here. They're going to get the Poppy ban, which is a good ban again. I think the Poppy was really good. Arctic's having a lot of success on almost anything he plays, so get him off the champions he's really good at. Maybe try to get him onto something he hasn't had success at. I'm kind of looking at bans here again. So kind of switching him up across the board. And set ban, okay. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Team One Tempest making the right moves. I love to see this. The hardest part of League sometimes is identifying that a champion made your life a living hell and accepting that. It's okay, you know what I mean? Like sometimes we get a little egotistical, like, oh, maybe he didn't play it well. He's not a very good Skarner or something. Like, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying maybe that's their perspective. Nah, I mean, it doesn't matter good or bad, man. The champion's just freaking strong. So, TK taken here. So it's almost like T1 Tempest knew that TK was going to come out because they had the center ready to go. Stop the fasting Tom Kench. Now it's the question, do you keep the Tom Kench at support or flex this as a possible top pick for Arctic? Don't remember if he played it in the top though. A Jhin with the Tom Catch. I think that works pretty well. If that's the case, if that's the bot lane. Tom Catch goes in. It's basically just a menace to your team. Jhin opens up, and 2v2 commences. Vi. Okay. We've seen a good amount of Vi this split. So far, Vi doesn't look horrible here. I think it's not a bad as a B3. But let's see what they pick to kind of play around that, right? The Tom Kench is off the table, so you can't defend yourself with that. They're going to just lock in the Maokai instantly here at R3. Whether or not that's going top or jungle, I don't really think matters. All I know is the champion's busted right now, actually. So, you could take it wherever you want. And it's actually a lot of beef already. Just one pick. Big beef on T1 Tempest's side. Not as much. Not easy for Jhin to get through. So that's pretty good there. Don't want to pincer into 4 melees again from T1 Tempest. So I hope maybe pick up another, maybe a beefier champion for the top side of the map. Bruiser type beef champion. And go with a, I don't know. I think I'm cool with something mid that's going to, like, carry your game. Like some hard scaling mid. I mean, Victor is still open. I'm seeing no bans on a Victor. And no Victor pick here, which is crazy. I understand the fear of maybe a Vi into that, but I think you have a good answer with the Maokai. I think it's fine. If Vi tries to ult your Victor, you just send your ult, and everybody just kills Vi. Kasante, that's a good beef pick. I like it, and it peels well. Can we talk about this Kale pick? Wait a second. What? I mean, I guess it's good in the tearing down the tanks, but it is pretty short range to do that. And it gets crushed by Kasante early. What? Instinct, you're cooking right now, man. You guys are cooking. And it's going to be the way. So, looking at this Talia pick, man. Talia, as far as the value of the champion, it's not very high. I feel like in this game. I mean, I understand there are, no dashes. But sometimes not having a dash is not a bad thing. You don't have to worry about dashing. You just attack move is Ashe, right? You just focus on not getting knocked back by the seismic shove. So and the Senna as well. So honestly, I think I'm gonna favor T1 Tempest draft. I'm gonna straight up. I'm just gonna favor it. I think sure. If this game goes extremely late, I see where Instinctck can win. We're talking. Kale needs like 4 items to be super online, so we're looking at 35 to 40 minute game.
Think carefully, my friend.
But like the thing is, if Senna scaled up too, like she can outrange the Kale, and then the next thing you know, Senna's just smacking your Kale from across the map, so now Kale can't step up. So I don't know. You have your late game insurance and scaling on both sides,
Seems you left your brave
but I just
pants at
favor
home. Want me
the
to
way
wait
this
while you go
team
get
is
them?
set up on T1's side more.
Hey, never pick a fight you can't win.
But I'm all for team proving me wrong. So Arctic has been a wonderful player, man, and this is his time to show us that he can carry on more than just a tank, right? So Alright, guys, are we going for a game 3, or is Instinctck going to get another 2-0 in week 4? I gotta check this actually right now. Let's check this out before we start. I got a few seconds. Oh, of course I'm not logged in. Alright, well, never mind. I was gonna check, but I think it's been mostly 2-0s this like whole week. I think all of them actually. With how competitive games have been, it's kind of shocking we've had so many 2-0s so far. I didn't realize this last game at all, but I'm just noticing this now. Both junglers run with Flash on D. So, interesting. I never really paid attention to anyone sums, and I just noticed that. Actually, roll Flash on D. Esco Flash on D. Okay. Got a lot of Flash on D'ers out here. Listen, all I gotta say is, for everyone to note, like, the best player ever plays with Flash on F, man. Just saying. F for Flash.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
Listen, it's an old meme, but people that actually play with it on D, it just feels kind of bad. There's actually statistics to back this up. The FN Flash has a higher win rate too, so it's not. There's proof in the pudding, man. As I choke on my water and almost die on stream. D for doo-doo. That's what D stands for. Oh, look at this late invade on Avo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Avo able to drop a ward. Let's see kind of what happens here. I wasn't paying attention, but this is actually a lane swap as well. I was a bit too busy talking, but this is a lane swap, and Wow Bao is not going to allow Avo to play the game here. They are aware it's a Kale, and Kale is not safe here in the top side. This is really, really smart out of T1 Tempest. If there was ever a time to pull this type of play off. And you see the support coming back over, and they're just going to continue to starve this Vi out of her own jungle. And she's kind of just wasting tempo, wasting time. The nice thing here for Eclipse, though, he's going to get himself some nice XP. Or not XP, I'm sorry, but nice plates on the bot side. So he's able to finally finish the camp. You see Vi now. Vi does not know what to do. Avo looks completely lost on what to do here. Was able to hit level 2, but how much does that actually matter? Coming up for a gank, I believe, or is maybe going to try to steal away the red buff here. Very interesting. Aqua took some damage on the turret, which is not what you want to see out of your support here in this situation. Maya's going to start up these Krogs, but this is very interesting right now when I'm watching. Avo looks completely lost and can at least come out of this with at least 2 camps from the top side of the map, which could more or less even it out. Very sneaky play by Vi, but I like it. Just gonna force the Maokai to walk down. So let's see if Vi can take advantage of this. information to stop Maokai from getting to his blue side, which could have hurt the Maokai heavily. And then look, plates are still not falling here on the top side of the map. So I like the idea early, but I feel like you have to dive. You have to dive this this KO right now. You have to try to take advantage. It looks like they're gonna try to shove it here. They get the slow. Nice damage. Now Rule has no mana here, but I think you still have to send it. You're forced to make this play. The Knight comes down. Reset on the aggro. No, it doesn't reset! First Blood's gonna go over to Aqua, but the dive is absolutely scuffed. A 1-for-1 for Arctic there is so bad. And Maokai loses the entire bot side. What I love from T1 Tempest ends up turning into a disaster. Oh no. And the 2 plates on the bot side of the map already is absolutely massive. I feel like you have to put your bot lane bot now. That or you try to redive. Hexify's got to be very careful here. Avo is right around. Wow is coming in though. Flashing in. That seems pretty aggressive. Here's a really nice seismic shove and a beautiful Q out of Avo. And that should end up being a kill. And now that you see Wow trying to make the play and everything's just falling apart on T1 Tempest's side. And this Vi's got himself a double kill. And now the bot lanes have reset, and in terms of items, it's pretty similar. Damage components more on the Ashes side, but you got the full Swifties completed by Eclipse here. Now we see Talia kind of moving. There's the dash in from Don. They do have the slow. They are going to be able to land the root. Wabao's on the way, but here comes Good Boy to try to turn the tides of this fight. Initially going bad. Rule is very, very low. Forced to flash away. Don's in there, though. A nice tongue lash. Going to get himself a kill for his Jhin. And now Aqua's trying to run. Remember, Aqua in a very bad spot, and looks like he's kiting it out pretty well so far. He's living. Hexify is going to show up and try to trade the kills. No! What are we doing, Aqua? Walking into Don, and no trade kills are going to happen. This is a disaster for T1 Tempest once again. The execution out of this comp is not what you want to see, and you thought you could stop this KO from scaling. You thought you could outplay the map, and unfortunately, it's not currently what's happening here. Now Avo's up here. This is going to be pretty scary. They're just going to turn into Aqua. Aqua should go down no matter what. No flash. And now here we're seeing open up. Nice tongue lash is going to land onto Rule. And Rule should just fall. That's going to be a kill for Eclipse. Just more kills going out of this Jhin. Now wow, Bao, he just wants to take his farm. It looks like they end up getting it. They're going to turn here onto Don Don. This is actually going to go at least one kill, I would presume. That's going to be a shutdown for Hexify here on the mid lane pick. Wait, I couldn't think of the champion. My mind is everywhere else it needs to be. Meanwhile, Avo is trying to run, but he's just going to be slowed to death. And yeah, he should fall here. So that's a shutdown for this Ashe. And all of a sudden now, a little bit of an overstep here. But the gold lead's still holding it around 3K. So, Instinct, you know, small mistakes. Let's see what they do after that. Ooh, how about in the wings? They know Tom Kench doesn't have Eat. Jhin does have no flash as well. Oh, but they're going to see him now in this bush. So, Drake will be picked up here. Smartly done by Avo. Just continuing to focus his objectives. We do have grubs coming up here in about 30 seconds. Looks like both these teams are trying to position for the grubs here. Ooh, they're going to try to make a play here on a good boy, but Hexify is just going to get annihilated here. And I don't think he has the damage to finish. Good boy should be able to flash away here. Going to run away from the sapling and run down. He does flash and get himself out. You know why? Asko is trying to make a play on the Arctic. There's a bit of a level disadvantage, but unfortunately he was not able to get it. Ashe arrow. Ooh, nicely sidestepped there by Arctic. He's gotta feel like something might be up. And he flashed under the wall, or under the turret. Should keep him pretty safe. They really can't fool. He's gonna just full commit on the turret, all out coming out. Esco was surviving initially, but he's just gonna die for a double kill. As TP in here from Good Boy. He's gonna make the play for his top laner. And now we're setting up for a dive on the top side. See when Tempest are respecting it. This Jhin is nearly got himself 5 plates this game, on top of the 2 kills and 4 assists he already has. It's absolutely massive right now. A bit of a desperation play. The Weaver's Wall will come down just to keep Good Boy safe. And Clips should pick up the first turret of the game here. So 6 plates for this Jhin. Hexify. Nice dodge there on both the Tongue Lash and the W, and a beautiful sidestep here on the Seismic Shove. Will keep him safe. Some nice gold pickup here for Arctic. Nah, they're looking to set up a play here. They have Vi. They're flanking now onto Esco. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a fight here in mid. Good boy is going to go down, but a nice eat to keep him safe. Ooh, and being the truly good boy he is, going to protect his team. Meanwhile, we didn't see what happened out here in the bot lane, but it was a 1v2, and that went in favor of Esco. We'll have to check back on that here in a second, as Drake is about to spawn. Nice seismic shove there. Forces rolled a barrier there. Very interesting. I think you just want to start with the Drake, guys. Needs to be your focus. Here comes the curtain call. Wow, Bao forced to tank it. I don't know how much he can take, though. And he's going to be deleted by the Talia into a nice route from Eclipse. And now Aqua has to run. Oh, my goodness. Good boy's popping off. You just have to go to the Drake there, guys. You have to just do the Drake. Oh, it's so unfortunate. Well, while we have a moment, let's see. 15. We'll come back to 16 minutes. I really want to see what happened during that little fight here. So I'm going to go back for a second, guys. If it lets me. Is it breaking? What in the world was that? Alright, let's see what happened. We'll come back to the 16-minute mark here in a second. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Make sure you stay on him here. He goes all out here onto Arctic. Arctic did not have his ult, and yeah, that's just a really nice play here by Esco. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to survive the initial thing, but yeah, good play. So Evelyn here invading the jungle. Weaver's Wall is going to come down here onto Esco. Esco doesn't... Oh, he does have his ult. He didn't realize it was back up. All that comes out. Might keep himself safe. He's able to flash away. Here comes in Tom Kench. Will miss the tongue slash, and Esco will survive. Nice Asher onto Eclipse, but Eclipse does have the cleanse. I should note, gold lead right now, it's up to almost about 9K, roughly. Let's go, trying to fight Good Boy. I don't know who honestly wins this. He is pretty tanky. So far, he's doing a lot of damage to the Good Boy. The Good Boy's going to get the shield. Simon Shov's going to land. The damage reduction isn't enough. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's so close. I think if he has all out there, he does kill Good Boy, but unfortunately does not have the ulti, so it's a kill for Talia. And that's going to be a Herald here for the side of Instinctck. Nice housing shove onto Hexify. Another Ash arrow going to come on that Eclipse. He does have his... No, he does not have his flash. So they should be able to take him out eventually. That's going to be shut down going over to this Maokai. But what are they going to do afterwards? How do they get out here? Here's the TP into the Weaver's Wall. Wild Ball should eventually fall here, and he's going to. It's a good boy, but both Hexify and Esco on the same ward. I don't think that's where Hexify wanted to be, and the Season Desist will come out and secure that kill. Now they're chasing on the Aqua. Aqua is currently dodging everything. Is going to be able to flash away. And we'll get out with his life. They just said, you take my AD carry, and I will take you. Avo is actually split pushing, so and often you see the jungler doing this, but he's able to give himself a turret. Will drop the Herald. It will crash, won't break it, but should be some nice damage there. Oh my goodness, Esco just deleted off the map, and that's supposed to be your tank right there. Once again walking up, and Seismic Shove is just so much. Ashura is not going to land. Maokai is now dead. Now it's just the bot lane of T1 Tempest, and they're not long for this world. Double kill for the Vi. And now we're marching into the base here at 20 minutes once again. And poor T1 Tempest can do nothing but stare at some gray screens. And the Instinctck look dominant once again here in game 2. And that's going to be 2 inhibitors. Same story, similar time to game 1. What are the answers coming out of T1 Tempest? Good Boy's gonna find Rule, and Rule's gonna flash, but that is a dead Ash. Once again, Good Boy all over this map. That's going to be a 12-0-9 to Leah, having himself a game, to say the least. Doing absolutely everything he's wanted so far in this game. Being able to show off his very good skills. You could say almost he's a good boy. I hope they watch back the cast and hear me say that. I think that's a pretty good joke, I feel like. A little punny. You know what isn't punny? Baron falling at 22.5 minutes here. What can T1 Tempest do? How are they going to be able to play the game here? Down 16K. I don't know if there is a way for them to play the game. Here's the cease and desist right on top of Rule. Rule's gone already. Wabao trying to defend, but it doesn't matter. Esker's going to go all out, but he's going to go all out to his grave. Meanwhile, the base is now falling apart even more. We already only had one turret left, and that should fall pretty quickly here. Hexify is here. He's trying to dodge out. Nice route, though, and there goes Hawaii. He can say Oh, goodbye. Because he's been eaten. And that is going to be your game. A victory for Instinctck and a 2-0 sweep on the series over T1 Tempest. Very, very decisive victory out of this team. I'll tell you guys what, I didn't plan on doing it. I've been kind of laxing on these interviews, but let me see if any of them want to interview real quick, shall we? But yeah, just a very decisive victory here at Instinctck. They've been playing very, very well this split. Have had an excellent season so far. Good boy Arctic have been just running the map. And you kind of see Avo have himself a wonderful game as well. He's been kind of able to shine a lot of times, but most of the time he's playing kind of a tankier pick like the Skarner. But those impales, those in game one were just absolutely insane. Alright, so I guess we are going to be able to get some of the guys in here.
Hello.
Oh, hello. you guys.
Hi.
How are you doing, Don Don?
Are you starting to feel it? The instinct CK to the first?
Um,
Hello.
I mean, maybe. At the end of the day, you got to understand that, there was fair reasonings why you guys were lower ranked early on, and I think you've earned your way up. You know, I think if I'm not mistaken, you guys lost week one, right?
I
Yes,
mean,
we did lose week one.
Yeah. So it's just
one extraneous circumstance.
it's still justified. It's still justified after week
There,
one.
yeah. I mean, we did lose. They did sub in a 200 LP Masters player, which was something, but no, we did lose.
And look,
They played it better.
there's more master players in here than people probably realize, and
Really?
yeah, and there's some good players.
Fine then.
They're beatable. They're all beatable. It's about team play. Trust me when I say that. It's the biggest thing. Team play matters the most here.
Yeah.
Because one master player can't win everything if there's, let's say, 2 diamonds and three emeralds. That's a pretty good team, I think. I don't know what your
No.
roster is. I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of what these teams are. A couple diamonds, a
Yeah.
couple emeralds, maybe a master's thrown in there.
Yeah, we're about the same.
No.
We're about the
Yeah,
same.
and I'm really more than anything. I'm just kind of like poking fun. We did lose fair and square, right? I'll own it. I didn't play great. We made some macro errors. It is what it is. We learned.
Oh, was that your one series? You look like a monkey. I gotta go back and watch that. Is that what you're telling me?
100%.
Okay,
It was all
wait,
Arctic.
I didn't look like a monkey. I just didn't like run the game.
He is inching nonstop.
I take back everything what I said. Arctic is no longer an MVP candidate. Take that guy.
Oh shit.
Well, let's
Just
talk.
rewatch that first game.
Yeah, clearly. Well, let's talk a little bit about these games here. I mean, you guys came in with a really, really good game plan, it seems. I guess we'll just start with game 2 because that's the game that. Wrong button. What am I clicking? That's the game that we just finished watching. Let's start with the Kale here because that is something I was interested to see and not something I don't think we will probably see almost ever because I doubt anyone was going to pick it anytime soon after you picked it because I don't really think it looked great. Just personal opinion, Arctic. But you won.
It's all good.
You won. So what was the idea on the pick here?
So I God, I don't even know how many years ago now, but like there was a season where I basically one tricked Kale and played a ton of it. And I've played the Cassante matchup and it is Kale favored because there's a certain point where like Cassante can't reliably get onto Kale, and if I play it right, and Kale can just kind of scale up as much as Kale wants. And the early game isn't horrible. So you kind of just gotta like play it a little safe, and then you can, be the carry that Kale wants to be. And we were talking about maybe pulling it out, and we figured like if we're gonna give it a shot, this is the setting to do it. I think that the lane swap, like we knew that some team play and macro play would be the counter. Did we expect a lane swap? No. Did I expect to get dove a lot? Yes. We just kind of wanted to pull it out and see if it could be, something we look for in the future. And I mean, who knows? We'll think about it. But it was a little bit of a cook there.
I think you
Yeah.
could break down some positive things from the pick. I don't think like you played horribly on it personally. I just don't think the pick got to do what you're talking about. I don't think it really did what it entailed. It did draw some attention,
Exactly.
which is not a bad thing. But
Well,
there's a world where, let's say, they dive you on repeat like 3 times in a row, and you just can't play the game. The game can fall apart, right? Luckily,
100%.
they griefed the dive, and it worked out pretty much in your guys' favor. So,
Yeah, I mean they also didn't zone me off of XP early, which was huge. And so it was, yeah, it was. I mean, but you're entirely right. Like there are ways to abuse it in team play that we were just kind of gonna see if I could, finagle it into working. And yeah, you're right. I mean, this time it worked. It was like some stuff on the margins that allowed it to work, and obviously, like Good Boy going nuts in the mid lane, Avo
Absolutely
doing great.
crazy.
Like it's easy to make it look okay when that stuff's happening elsewhere on the map, right? So credit where credit is due. Like my team played very well that game, but
yeah, Good Boy and Avo played excellent, especially considering, I mean, Avo was put in a really precarious position early on in that game. I think he adapted well. The only thing I just wished he and Tempest would have been putting the pressure even more. I don't feel like Avo should be allowed in the jungle at all at that point. I think Senna just either has to stay and push the Vi out completely, and then Ash can zone Kale, because, I mean, it's hard for you to, like, regardless of who it is, Ash can also zone you. You don't have any range level 1,
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been what I would have wanted to see. They didn't do it. Avo adapted well, ended up securing a bunch of camps on the bot side, and then from there it became just a fun little game to watch of what's going to happen between the Vi and the Mao, and the Vi ended up coming out positive in the end.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm sorry. You can go.
No, you go ahead. No, say what you want to say. I'm sorry.
Well, I think looking back at it, it's probably pretty bad how we ended up having the lane swap and not actually preparing for it at all. I think maybe an invade top side, or like to see where they're actually gonna go. We just didn't think at all that they were gonna lane swap pretty much.
Yeah.
I
Like my
honestly,
setup was about
I feel
as
like,
bad as it could be. Yeah.
yeah, no, I feel you. I think they could have left the lanes the way they were, though, if you ask me too. Like, I agree with you that Cassante will eventually, basically, what you're saying, more or less, get outscaled, right? I mean, that's what Kale does.
Yeah.
But I think in the early game, Cassante still is slightly more favored regardless. I know you said you can make it through lane phase, which I believe you can, but it's not about can you make it through lane phase, it's how does this Cassante plus Maokai play it, right? And I think you're fine to just, like, say, hey, Cassante, go beat up Kale, come for a dive at slow push or something, whatever you want. It's still just as viable. And then the bot lanes are kind of just evenly matched at that point. I think the early game, no one really has a super strong favor, so just let them play out. Otherwise, you're giving this Jhin free hits on the turret, gets 2 plates. I mean, that's definitely not something you want to see. But I wanted to ask you, Don, as far as this Tahm Kench here, do you guys play Tahm Kench Senna? I mean, I can obviously look, so you don't have to. You're not revealing nothing by saying yes. It's not
No.
see. You don't. Okay.
we normally use TK as our top support flex, and from there we can kind of decide if we wanted to play the Kale, or if, like, they picked something that would shit on Kale. Oh shit, can I say that?
You're fine. Don't worry.
Like, I could pick something else support. Like, if we need an enchanter, we need like some more engage, I can always do that as well. So yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was curious. I'm like, maybe they're taking the Senna away from you guys. I wasn't for sure. You guys aren't in my group, so I haven't dissected your op.ggs, but anybody can do that. So I was just like, I might as well just ask if that's what was going on there. But yeah, I remember you playing the Tahm Kench. When did you play it, Arctic? What series was that?
So yeah, that was the really rough game.
That
I blinded it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
blinded it game 1 into TK Benchers, which I thought was kind of tongue in cheek, like see what you're doing to this, and they kicked my teeth in with the Aatrox, and I was like, yeah.
I remember, actually. Now that you bring it up, I'm
Reconsider.
remembering it now. I'm remembering some really nasty plays from the Aatrox too. Actually.
What?
Yeah.
No, it was
0-4 in the first 5 minutes.
Okay,
on
was it
TK.
really that bad? I don't know.
It
But
was.
it was that bad. But I think there were a couple times where I was like, okay, I think I got him, and I went in and put him at like 1. But no, I mean, it was not great. And so the thing with the TK is it does kind of just not do a lot in a lot of lanes, and it can do a surprisingly good job in some other lanes. And I think that game, I piloted it horribly. And Aatrox isn't a great matchup, so like he took advantage very, very well.
He had some frog legs.
They benched the Kench indeed, but yeah, I mean that one I'll credit where credit is due. He played it well. I played it poorly, and we lost that one fair and square, right? But Tom Kench is one of my like I'll pick it into a lot. So I don't know. That's kind of all that is. There's no like super crazy tech that I'm running on it or anything. It's
Got it.
just like
So you guys, you've heard it here first. If you want to be Arctic, just pick Tom Kench counters, ban Orin, and take Poppy off the table. There you go. If you want,
Orin and Poppy and pick cut Tom Kench counters. Like how much shit do I have to pull up here?
he's like, oh, what do I do? How do I play the game? I'm sure you have more in the bag than just that. At
I,
least
I
stuff.
have
So,
I have one pick that I'm cooking up that I
yeah,
feel like I'm
don't reveal it.
I don't know. We'll see if it
Yeah,
comes out in a
yeah.
couple weeks, but
Well, a couple
can't
weeks will be
reveal everything.
playoffs, so
Yeah,
we'll be seeing that. But let's talk a little bit about game one before we finish up here. I thought
sure.
game one was interesting because they went with a 4 melee comp into Emilio, Azir, Ashe, which seems absolutely crazy to me. Because I mean, if you take the Emilio out, it's not as bad maybe because Ashe is pretty mid range, but now she's extended, right? Emilio's got the buffer there. I thought it was a really nice draft from you guys. And what do you guys feel? I mean, you guys don't play the mid. At least I don't think you guys do. Maybe you do. I don't know. But as you guys are seeing this Diana versus Zero matchup, I was kind of saying in chat I didn't really like it as much. I know CLT had some comments. So what is your, if you guys know from your mid laner's perspective, what did he feel when he saw that pick as the counter?
I mean, I
So
think I think he's pretty happy with that. Like, just the fact that he's playing Diana into like Azir, Ashe, Skarner, Poppy, like Milio. That's like
they did
later on in the game, he's
smart
gonna do
Poppy
nothing, right?
too.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think that honestly to me what that was is they were picking the like go button big AoE engage wombo combo fight, right? Like that was telegraphed pretty early on and the Diana is just more of that. And so I think that like if I were them, the Mbessa Gwen bans, I think are kind of like well, first off, Jax beats Gwen as far as I know, and Mbessa is kind of like the go is the would be our only like super engagey champ. So like if they banned the Poppy because the Poppy does a lot to counter all of it and it counters Jackson lane. So like
Yeah.
that was we were super happy to pick that up. And maybe just kind of taking out I don't know what other tools we picked R4, but it was the Azir R4. So I don't know,
Yes.
like they could have maybe covered it a little better.
Yeah.
Um,
It-
I don't know, but like that's my only thoughts there. But overall, I mean, like they had a game plan, and I think it was more like a team pick than it was a lane pick.
Right. I would honestly, because I think team pick can still be value here, even if it's a lane pick, if that makes sense. This is
Yeah.
really weird, but I'm a big Zed connoisseur. I love Zed. I play tons of Zed.
Oh,
And there are some other Zed players I've seen recently pick it up, where I go, wait, this champion is not as bad as it was, as I thought it was. Like it might actually be bad. So I go, wait, Zed, like this is a prime Zed spot. Plus, Zed just annihilates Milio and Ashe. They can't play the game. Like it's perfect for Zed. And as far as shields go, he can build Serpent's Fang. It's got high value. So I was thinking to myself, like, why not just run the Zed here? And he goes Diana, and I'm like, okay. So
yeah.
but that would be my take. And I mean, there's other options, of course. You have artillery mages as Azir can struggle against as well. There's definitely some stuff out there. Two other questions I want to ask, and we can finish up. It's just about really, it's kind of we can just put it in one. So I wanted to ask about Skarner, and then I wanted to ask about Victor. So the Skarner one is just simply, are you guys surprised they left that up on blue side? Like why not just take the Skarner? And the other thing is, why no one Victor in this series? Do either teams not play it? So I wanted to hear kind of takes on those.
I mean, I
No.
think like Victor kind of can just be slot into where Azir is, but we were feeling some Azir, and it definitely helped for their. It's like a lot of damage output, right? And then I think the second game we were kind of looking for a dive comp onto. I mean, there's Senna and Ashe, so we were looking at Ari, Aurora. So Victor just didn't seem to fit, and then in the end we ended up picking Talia anyways. It was kind of just fine with Vi. Uh, as for
Yeah.
Skarner though, I think Skarner's just broken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anytime it's up, we'll pick it up. Or yeah,
Yeah. I think that I mean some of it too, like we talk about this a lot and I think that our week one this was a problem that we had too, but like we were so like we're coming off of watching Worlds. We're like ready to just do crazy macro BS and play picks that we just don't know. And like we were practicing it in some scrims, and like it was not working well. And so I think that like at this tier, right, familiarity with a pick goes way further than people might realize. And so like I don't know their jungler, but if he doesn't know Skarner, like that's that's something there. And so like the fact that we like Avo knows it and can play it pretty darn well, like that's a boon for us. But like we got to play around comfort too. Like I don't think that any of us, we have jobs, we have school, some of us, right? Like they can't just like pick the meta for the sake of it. So I don't look at teams and be like, oh, like why aren't they prioritizing? I mean, like the jungle just might not play it, which is just a reality of these leagues as opposed to like playing LCS.
No, for sure. I think my only counter argument to that is just simply something like Skarner. I don't think is complicated to play.
Oh, is it? Yeah, brain dead.
Oh
I've
no no no
honestly
no
never
no no!
played it.
It's not
So,
brain dead. It's not brain dead. There's lots
yeah.
of skill oppression. I play tons. I had let's just say I had a filthy play last night on it,
Oh, sure.
and I don't want to show it to anybody because I don't want nobody knowing because then they might just ban it
Mm.
permanently against me. But anyway, so yeah, no, it's definitely got some skill expression. With that being said, it's still I think it's easier to learn jungler. It's not like playing something like Lilia or I mean, even Ivern, because Ivern has unique pathings and how to control Daisy. I think it's still relatively easier there to play. There is a chance that, of course, like you said, he just hasn't played it yet, hasn't wanted to, which is fine. Like you said, you're willing. You can do whatever you want day to day if you prefer a certain pick, and just play what you feel comfortable on. I also don't think Sedge is bad into the starter, anyways. It just didn't work out for
It's
other
also fits
reasons.
their like go button comp too.
Yeah,
Like they want
exactly.
to go. Yeah.
Have you guys checked out the champ stats by chance? That we
I
I can
did look
take
a
a look.
little bit, yeah, but there's definitely a few that I saw that I don't think they should be that low. I'm not gonna say what, but we'll definitely be prioritizing some of those a little later on.
Yeah. So, but is it something that is helping you guys with determining maybe some of your drafts coming into the week, or is it?
Um, Not necessarily. We're kind of sticking to our comfort as well and what we're enjoying to play, but as for the champion stats, it's kind of nice to see, but we can kind of see what other teams are prioritizing and see if we can figure out what counters them. But other than that, we're not really looking too deep into it.
Okay, so it has brought some value, but not a lot of value. Yeah, we've definitely
Mm.
talked about it. It's me and TLT and my friend Dropboard. We've discussed it a bit because we put this together and something we want to continue to do in these future splits. Maybe eventually get more in depth, but we're hoping that people are able to utilize it. Right, that's why we put it out to the Republic so you guys can get some information. Because I don't think the stats lie. Like what's happening in our league, I think like Skarner having high success. Ash has been a champion that's had a lot of success. Like I don't think these champions are bad. I think there's a reason why they're having the success. I do
Mm.
agree some champs could be lower than they probably should. Maybe just being picked in the wrong spots. I think Galio's been one of those champions to split. Like he just picked in weird locations for team comps.
I thought Vi was actually another example of like people first picking Vi and just like not covering their bases when it comes to anti-dive and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think I'm sure you've watched me talk a bunch about the Vi pick. You have to pick Vi to me usually lower down your pick list. It doesn't have to be all the way at your R5 or B5 pick, but you don't want to send it as a B1. I don't think it's a good B1. I don't even necessarily think it's a good R1. Um, Once you see kind of what the comp is shaping out to be on both sides, then you might be able to find your Vi angle. I think Vi, even in the comp you guys played, it wasn't the best spot for it. It was good, but it wasn't the best. But execution matters. And this is not a knock towards your guys' draft or to their draft or anybody's. But when I broke down the draft, I'm kind of looking like I like what their draft had a lot. I mean, because if you guys don't get to that late game mark or just completely blow up the game, which is what happened, right? You blew up the game, then they should be in a good spot to play. If I goes
Mm.
in, he drops the Malkayar. Good luck playing the game. Um, but that's not how it turned out. Execution was scuffed by their end. You guys made some nice plays, and game ends before they can even do anything of what the comp wants to do. So, which is even
Yeah.
more hats off to you guys there. But yeah,
No, I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, we had the idea like send the vibe bomb in with the Kale ult on our head, and like Don Don can either peel or follow up, like whatever he wants to do. But I mean, I kind of agree that it's a bit of a shaky one. I mean, the fact of the matter is, at least Good boy can like tell me later. I think the Talia's just the fact that he's fucking good at the Talia. Like I think that it was not like a. I mean, maybe he was looking to play the kind of roaming influence side lanes with it, which was exactly what he did. But like he's just really really talented on the pick, so it's like we trust him to make it work in those types of things. But yeah, like it's that question again of uh, familiarity versus what's like a perfect comp, and we kind of went a little bit towards familiarity this game, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I guess we could probably finish up here. This is really not a question. It's more of me just making a statement. If you guys have any words to say on this, so we have Dyslexic Defenders versus Team Ghost. Hopefully that match still gets played. D&D is having some problems right now. I'm trying to help them right now. So assuming that match gets played, whatever happens, happens. Right now, you and TK Benchers are sitting at both 3-1, and then let's just say for fun, Ghost wins no matter what happens. Let's just do that for the sake of putting them at 3-1. So you guys would all be tied for first at 3-1, and then you guys would have to play.
Ghost is our last one.
Ghost is your last one. So how would you guys feel? Because that'd be your fight for the 1 seed, right? How are you guys feeling about that little situation you guys have coming up?
I mean,
yeah, like,
or go ahead, Arctic.
I mean, all I was gonna say is like we are thinking right, like play every match like we're playing a playoff match. Like I think that it's very easy to just have off weeks, but we're gonna treat Ghosts like we treated T1 Tempest, like we treated TK Ventures, right? Like we basically have been trying to just play up to everyone and to treat every week to week, and it's been working so far. So we'll do our scouting. We're not trying to worry too much. It is funny though, because I think if we lose, I don't even want to talk about it, right? But if we lose, the way that it's so tight between all the teams, is it top 4 in each group get in?
Yes. So
Okay.
so for
We're in,
yeah,
right?
you're in. You're in.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay, but I think that there's a world where if we lose this game, we drop to 4th seed because we lost the head-to-head to Cal Poly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible.
So that's like the kind of goofy scenario, and so yeah, I mean we're gonna give it our all because it will matter, and yeah,
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I agree with you. Take every team serious. It doesn't matter what record says. Everybody's here has competitive drive and wants to win, and so you never know what could happen. As they say in football, any given Sunday, and well, in
well,
League of
right,
Legends,
yeah.
it's any given day of the week because we play Monday through freaking Sunday. So,
Yeah. Also, I did also want to say like huge props tonight to Tempest because I think like one thing I really respected the hell out of these two games was that they didn't just kind of take the first loss and then like roll over. The fact they all the way to the last minute of the second game they were like looking for angles to get in, right? Like I know that engage at the end kind of fell flat because we were just beating them with our wallets at that point.
Oh, they had
But
a
like
great
yeah,
death bush on Eclipse on the first
right.
game
No,
as
like
well.
yeah.
and going for the lane swap, like I honestly like huge props to them. Yeah, and like same to all our opponents. This has been an absolute blast playing this league, and so look forward to seeing what comes next.
Cool. All right. Well, appreciate you guys coming on for a little interview. I haven't been doing my interviews like I usually do, so you're like the first one in like 3 weeks. It feels like. But yeah, thanks guys, and we look forward to seeing you guys play next week, and look forward to playoffs. So good luck in your future series.
Sure.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for casting.
much.
Of course.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Okay. All right, guys. With that being said, I think I'm going to be heading out myself. Thank you all for coming on the cast as always. It was a fun little series we had today. As you guys saw, I kind of was looking at it a little bit, but yeah, week 4 isn't fully played. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left to go. So it should be a fun end to week 4, and then looking forward to week 5. Oh, and there was a 2-1. See, I thought there was, and I couldn't remember earlier. So yeah, Peanut Butter and Jelly Backdoor had that crazy series. But yeah, so looking forward to that. Otherwise, I will probably see you guys this weekend then. So have a wonderful night and enjoy the rest of your weekday. GG, we are out.